Deputy Convener of the MQM and Parliamentary Leader of the party. He is currently the Federal Minister for Overseas Pakistanis and was previously the youngest ever person elected to the position of Karachi Mayor. He will be addressing us for about half an hour today, after which we'll have the floor open for a few questions. So, without any further ado, I will request Dr. Farooq Sattar.
Just keep this watch so that I try to be within the time limit. And you want me to, while I'm standing or take? So, thank you very much, Oxford University, Pakistan Society and Oxford Union, the co-host of today's event. And it's been a great experience so far. I had some time to sit in your cafeteria and was overwhelmed with nostalgia, and it reminded me of my college days. And the warmthness in the background of the snowfall that has taken place, and which very passionately suggested me that the environmentalists better correct themselves, and it's not global warming, it's global freezing over here. This change is required in this perspective. Now, I have been invited here, and this has been a unique opportunity for me, and I am grateful to all of you. With the rise of globalization, images of climate change, occupation of Wall Street, and ever-increasing disparity between North and South comes to one's mind. So should we blame globalization for everything? Is globalization about culture, politics, and economics? Does it imply an evolution of a unipolar world? What it is? Does it bring opportunities or threats for the developing countries like us? And then, are we alert and conscious enough to assess the threats or the fears of globalization? Are we in a position or not? I would like to seek a vote from you that in the context of our country, in the context of Pakistan, and what promises that the country holds for the bright and a sovereign and a prosperous future for our more than 180 million people over there. Would you like to hear a talk shop like thing? Baaton shaaton mein, if you are watching Pakistani television channels, one of the advertisement from Telenor would suggest the policy is of Baaton shaaton, talk shop. Should I prefer to say most of the things between the lines, or should I opt for the policy of zone, sab keh de, and open my heart? And this is what I have come here for, to speak out my heart before you. And that's why what 20, 25 or 30 minutes I have, I would not like to go into the rhetoric. I would not be raising made tall claims and chanted slogans. I have come here to offer a partnership to you that this is now a now or never situation in Pakistan. अब नहीं तो फिर कभी नहीं, होने नहीं तो कभी नहीं वाली situation has reached into Pakistan. Pakistan is simply not in a position to sustain the 65-year-old ad hocism through which we have tried to run it like an experimental lab. People of Pakistan are burning like pigs on which we are doing the experiment. I think this is now or never situation. And why I say this is a now or never situation, because more than half of our history has seen military rules in Pakistan. The rest half or less than half has seen a selective democracy, a feudocracy, a system that is run by a 2% ruling elite in Pakistan. The fiefdoms in Pakistan, the dynasties in Pakistan, and it is the 500 families that are calling the shots and deciding the fate of an ordinary Pakistan. The real fruits of democracy and the real democracy is a devolved, a decentralized, a functional and a participatory democracy in which you make people partner into the decision making and the policy making. I have not come here to seek a support that please send me into the echelons of power. I am here just to make a request that since this country no more can afford ad hocism or a status quo, so we have to make it a point, and sooner than later, that self-made people are ascended into or sent into the power of assurance of Pakistan. Power कटारी उनको भेजना, otherwise मरीज़े इश्क पर रहमत खुदा की, मर्ज बढ़ता गया जुझू दवा की. I will not be critical to the leadership of the past or any one or the other political party. I am not here to keep on cursing the darkness of the past. I am here to lit the lantern or candle of my responsibility के शिकवाए तीर की ये शब्द से तो कहीं बेहतर है, शिकवाए तीर की ये शब्द से कहीं बेहतर है अपने हिस्से की कोई शम्मा जलाते जाए. तो what is the preferred way of, and that is the question is the empowerment of the people of Pakistan, empowerment through enablement of the people of Pakistan, and empowerment of the youth of Pakistan, empowerment of the women of Pakistan, empowerment of the peasants and farmers of Pakistan. And when I talk of this empowerment in the national policy forum, it means that either the present breed of leadership in Pakistan, I have come here not to, as I said, I will not go into rhetoric. Everybody by now knows that what to do. The main question is that how to do, how to implement, even if some good policies are there. The main problem, I think, in Pakistan is the implementation. And for that, this is high time that we have to give ownership to the people of Pakistan. of Isaac Newton. He did not immediately take up that apple and began to put it into his jaws and ate it. He did not do that. He just pondered, gave a thought, and came up with a law of gravitation, Qanun-e Kashish-e-Sakal, law of gravitation, and those who followed and acted on the sunnah of and the acts of Sir Isaac Newton were able to break the force of gravitation and were able to send rockets, aircraft and satellites into air and space. And those very same satellites then have thrown back the same apple of Newton into the hands of the whole world. The whole world has come into the hands of the global citizens in the form of the apple from Steve Jobs, Johnny Cash and Bob Hope. iPhone, iPad and iPod, they are now in our hand. And it was only possible because Newton did not immediately like the ruling elite in Pakistan, the 2% privileged class in Pakistan, who began to, when the apple of Pakistan fell into their lap, they immediately took up that apple and began to eat it, and even as of today they are eating that apple. I am not making any distinction or discrimination that which institution of the state or the organ of the state this ruling elite belongs. Across the board, the 2% ruling elite in Pakistan that is devouring everything, and now the question of integrity of Pakistan and the survival of Pakistan has come in front of all of us. If one simple thing that we all can do, unite the people of Pakistan, mobilize the people of Pakistan, organize the people of Pakistan, the middle class, the working class, the 98% neglected, non-privileged, downtrodden, suppressed people of Pakistan or deprived people of Pakistan into the representative forums of Pakistan through a word of mouth, through the practical efforts and endeavors, whatever way we choose, through the use of the social media. I think this is high time that we have to do it. Otherwise, there are so many East Pakistans knocking at our door. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah once said that he does not believe in a poorer Pakistan. And the practical translation of that the ruling elite did was to conveniently let East Pakistan go and become Bangladesh, as it was the poorest part of our combined East and West Pakistan. And now the very same East Pakistan is becoming more prosperous than Pakistan, is earning. What we are conveniently doing is smuggling out and exporting $1 billion of raw cotton, as if we are oblivious of the importance of value addition in Pakistan. Value addition that generates employment in Pakistan. $1 billion of raw cotton is exported, smuggled out, and Bangladesh is throwing into the malls of, into the markets of Europe, America and Canada the best, some of the best of the finished goods made from the Pakistani. पर्दा हमारे नाम से उठा और आंख लड़ाई गैरों ने. In as much the same manner, the precious stone of Pakistan, $0.5 billion is exported and smuggled out, and this stone is coming from no place less important than the northern area of Sabat and Malabran, where my army has recently fought a battle with the terrorists there. I have got means to generate employment for thousands of Pakistanis there. My Pashto speaking brothers in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa The precious stone of Pakistan, $0.5 billion is being exported and smuggled out in the market of India, and India is refining it, grooming it through gemology institutes and small plants. They don't need big plants even. Tarashna, Kharashna, and what we are continuously suggesting, the same red mixture for every disease in Pakistan. The two chronic ailments that afflict the body politic of Pakistan, number one is feudalism and number two is over-centralization. What Pakistan today needs is a consensus on a minimum national agenda of political, social and economic reform agenda. This is what is required by the people of Pakistan. And that envisages and includes land reforms in the rural areas of Pakistan. If Pakistan is an agricultural country, Pakistan cannot simply thrive if the landless peasants and farmers are not given an opportunity to show their skill and their potential of taking Pakistan into the 21st century. Or if we keep on suggesting that they have to work as tenants, they have to live and die like tenants on their own lands, work 24 hours and only at the end to get the peanut out of the so much of wealth that is being generated and which is going into the coffers of the 2% ruling elite of Pakistan. My problem is that this feudalism and over-centralization has been like a Y2K in the hardware of Pakistan, and the software of Pakistan has been lost. We all have to look for the software, and that software is nothing but the moderate, the liberal, the egalitarian, enlightened, modern, progressive, democratic, welfare state of Pakistan, which gives ownership, involvement and participation to its own people. That they are involved, and this is the Y2K. The whole world was able to find an answer to that. And this Y2K also gave an opportunity to the citizens of India and Bangalore, to the citizens of Hyderabad, Deccan and India, that Hyderabad has become to be known as Cyberabad and Bangalore has become to be known as Cyberlore. Pakistan has got the potential of becoming, Karachi becoming Cyber Aichi, Lahore becoming Cyberlore, and Peshawar becoming Cyber Shawar, Quetta becoming Cyber Ita. This potential does exist in Pakistan, provided the people of Bhatigate Lahore, Lahorigate Lahore, Mughalpura, Baghmanpura of Lahore, Liaquatabad and Orangi town of Karachi, Qissa Bani Bazar of Rawalpindi and Raja Bazar of Peshawar, if they are provided and they are given an opportunity, that beyond election also they have a role of participation in the policy and decision making of Pakistan, and that's what not happening. And this empowerment, the first step to this empowerment is political empowerment, social empowerment, economic empowerment. And how does the political empowerment comes about? That if the Democrats of Pakistan chant tall slogans of democracy, then they must make the point that that democracy reaches to the grassroots of Pakistan. That democracy, local government elections also have to be held in Pakistan. We cannot do without having democracy at the local level. President Obama can run United States of America. President of Pakistan can run country of Pakistan. President David Cameron of United Kingdom can run United Kingdom. But the cities of New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, London, Edinburgh, Karachi, Lahore, they all have to be managed through a system of landing ownership by their very own citizens. I will just cite you one example of the voluntary ownership that my volunteers have demonstrated very recently during the course of the last 2-3 years. That we have been sending some of our volunteers isolated places of Karachi like graveyards, and even in some mosques, in some seminaries, madrasas also. And from there we were able to have an access into the 21 networks of terrorists in Karachi. And information so gathered were passed on to the law enforcement agencies, and they nabbed them, they apprehended them, and 21 networks of suicide bombers and terrorists were unearthed in Karachi only because of the best of the human intelligence that came about by uniting, organizing and mobilizing the political workers of one party. And that averted so many threats of terrorist attacks, suicide bomb attacks in Karachi alone. Why can't, if the same volunteers and their passion is institutionalized into a form of community police, which is existent all over the world, but we don't have a concept of landing ownership, even it is war on terror, it is building your national institutions, it is building your economy, microfinance, cooperative farming, land reforms, agricultural reforms, low-cost housing schemes, then small, medium enterprises. This is an empowered local government. This holds the key to the secure, stable, peaceful, a moderate, a developing, a progressing Pakistan and its future. This is how Pakistan. Otherwise, what has happened? दर्द सर के वास्ते संदल बताते हैं तबीब, दर्द सर के वास्ते संदल बताते हैं तबीब, पिसना घिसना लगाना दर्द सर ये भी तो है. My very dear students, that life, we will have to change our way of thinking, our approach. We'll have to change. As a nation, the mindset has to be changed. And the mindset is that if it has conveniently begun to take life as if the life offers guarantees and warranties, life does not offer you guarantees and warranties. Life only offers you possibilities and opportunities, and we have to seize those possibilities and opportunities and harp on them and take Pakistan onto the launching pad from where it can take its 180 million people into the 21st century. This is how things can be managed in Pakistan. And look, besides local government, there is a role for the overseas Pakistanis also. हम बगल में बच्चा शहर में ढंढोरा चराग तले अंधेरा के a big potential of overseas Pakistanis is available. 0.8 to 10 million people, Pakistani diaspora. Experience, exposure, education, talent, they have got everything. We need to reinstate their confidence into our system. And in order to do that, as Minister for Overseas Pakistanis, I am trying to do my bit and is in the process of formulating a first ever policy for the overseas Pakistani students as well as for the overseas Pakistanis which are in the different walks of life. That how Pakistan can benefit from the Pakistani diaspora, economy, energy. I would just cite two examples. I am running out of time, a few minutes are left. That कैसे Newton का सेब, how it came back to us in the form of the apple of iPhone, iPad and iPod. And the world has become a very sort of a small thing, and it is in our hand. So how this has become possible? They say there is no quick fix. A lot of people would come to you and say, we don't have a magic wand. Yes, nobody has a magic wand. But I say there are a few things that can be fixed overnight in Pakistan. I would just cite one example of that. To give you an idea how vested interest works in Pakistan, because the 70% of the parliament is dominated by the feudals of Pakistan, by the tribal lords of Pakistan, by the big capitalists of Pakistan in the parliament, and they are exempted from making any contribution in the direct tax incidence of Pakistan. They are not paying any income tax on their profit or on their income, and they are, the dilemma and the tragedy is that they are constitutionally exempted from paying. All taxable income must be taxed. Without implementing this, representation without taxation without representation does not lead to anywhere or take any nation into an honorable position in the International Community of Nations. My budget deficit is more than 1 trillion, which means 5% in the percentage term. My growth rate for the last 4 years has been very sluggish, that is 2 to 3% per annum. The inflation rate continues to be in double digit, more than 10%. My tax GDP ratio is 9%. Unfortunately, that does not even take me anywhere close to Bangladesh, Egypt, Turkey, South Korea, what to talk China and India, and the developed world of Europe, Canada, and North America. So I am nowhere there. So we can afford to have better relations with, even we can afford to have bad relations with the USA of Barack Hussein Obama, George Bush, David Cameron of UK, but we simply cannot afford to have bitter and bad relations with Bill Gates of USA. We have to have very strong, effective and powerful relations if we really believe that we believe in trade and not aid, then we have to have good relations, and we have to find out a way when this renewed framework of relationship with USA is being worked out. We just cannot afford to take Pakistan into isolation. Pakistan has to have good relations with Bill Gates of USA, and we have to look for what does it take to have Mahathir Mohamad in Pakistan, Bill Gates in Pakistan, Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, Deng Xiaoping of modern China. How can we have these leaders, this quality of leaders in Pakistan? Because we have to look for, they are an integral part of our citizenry. They live amongst us. We have to look for them. अपने हाथों में लिए शम्मे यकीन आएंगे. अपने हाथों में लिए शम्मे यकीन. Masiha and the prophets are not going to fall from the sky. We have to look for the leaders who live and who exist amongst us. हमें अपने दरमियान में से leaders निकालने होंगे, तो ऊपर भेजना होगा. हर मोहल्ले में अपना एक लीडर मौजूद है. अब अपने हाथों में लिए शम्मे यकीन आएंगे. अब पैगंबर नहीं आएंगे, हम ही आएंगे. So we have to work like this. Energy, education, economy, local government system empowered will generate employment, will alleviate poverty, will address your price hikes and your cost inflation. These are, and this is no rocket science, these are all doable things. Microfinance, Bangladesh model, Professor Yunus of Grameen Bank, Nobel laureate, 7 million women of Bangladesh were empowered. And now Bangladesh's currency, which we used to call taka. And those were the days when we just let Bangladesh go. It was a liability because of torrential rains and floods. And we just let it go in the same Bangladesh whose weather has not changed. On the contrary, the extreme climate has aggravated the situation there, but that Bangladesh currency has become more respectable in the international market than, unfortunately, Pakistan's rupee. जो टका which we used to consider as दो टके के बराबर था, is now seeing into the eyes of the dollar, and my rupee, which has lost its prestige and dignity, वो झुकता चला जा रहा है and is now bowing its head and is about to touch its घुटने, टच कर जा रहा है नी, घुटने को वो मैं एल्बो कहने लगा था। So my problem is मेरी कैसेट, अगर आपने कभी सीडी और डीवीडी से पहले वो, if you just had listened a few songs with the cassette, वो टेप आ गया था, वो टेप फंस गई है कहीं पर मेरी, और जब टेप फंस जाती है तो how would a singer appear to be, how would he sing it, ये आपको पता है। मुझे वो टेप निकालनी पाकिस्तान में से। I am looking for the software which belongs to Qaeda Mohammed Ali Jinnah. That software has to be reinstalled into the hardware of geography, the state and the system of Pakistan. Without that software, I do not see Pakistan regaining its lost glory in the international community of nations. The last metaphor that I have to cite here, which would be of some interest to you, unfortunately, the biggest hedge is the psychological barrier. The barrier that says that this is impossible. This revolution is difficult. The unity, organization and mobilization of the middle class, the empowerment of the youth. Just to cite one example, Altaf Hussain started this phenomenon at a young age and a student when he was only 25 and a student of Karachi University. I was given the key of the city of Karachi, 10 million then, at a young age of 27 years, the phenomenon of youth empowerment. I was 27 years hardly when I was elected as the mayor of the city of Karachi. Then Ishratul Ibad was nominated as the governor of the most difficult province at an age of 35 years. Mustafa Kamal, a recent success story, was elected by the citizens of Karachi and nominated by Altaf Hussain and MQM to lead a city of 16, 17 or 18 million into the 21st century. We fixed the infrastructure of Karachi, revamped Karachi and transformed into one of the most modern cities, 12th fastest growing cities in the world as per the ranking given by the World Economic Forum Davos. Karachi was declared the 12th, and Mustafa Bhai was rated as one of the 3 best mayors of the world by a foreign policy magazine in USA. ये हो रहा। अब hitch क्या है? When I go to Rawalpindi, Gujarat, Gujranwala, and they would say that give us Mustafa Kamal for 6 months. I say, why do you want a Mustafa Kamal from Karachi? Why are you not looking for a Mustafa Kamal into your own city? There are thousands of Mustafa Kamal, hundreds of Mustafa Kamal who are living, who are a part of your citizenry, and you look for your own Mustafa Kamal. Every city has a Mustafa Kamal. अब ये मिसाल बिल्कुल उसी तरह है कि in our custom and in our mindset, a girl, one of our daughters or a sister who is getting married, the nightmare that strikes her उसकी शादी के मौके पे, that what new environment she will come across, उसकी सास कैसी होगी, how will be her mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and how will be her brother-in-laws there. So she is struck with that problem which is all the time pricking her. And the only solution that she comes up with, that she pray and say, Rabba, ya te saas changi ho. Rabba, या ते सास चंगी होवे या फिर ओदी फोटो दीवार पे टंगी हो। This is the only solution that she conceives in her mind when उसकी रुखसती का जब वक्त होता है, वो सिर्फ यही सोचती है, वो यही सोचती कि बदलो पाकिस्तान, change Pakistan. She does not think that change the rulers of Pakistan, the whole class ruling elite of Pakistan. If I am not brought up report on Pakistan in media, my destiny for Pakistan, if I can share my dream with you, because without dream and vision, action will not take you anywhere. And action without dream also will not take you anywhere. And what dream? That the dream is कि आसमानों पे नजर कर, अंजुम महताब देख, आसमानों पे नजर कर, अंजुम महताब देख, सुबह की बुनियाद रखनी है तो पहले ख्वाब देख. So I have a dream, and that is what Martin Luther King 40 years ago was to say. Martin Luther King also said, and that was the time when the black Americans of Africa origin had even not had the proper right to vote. They did not have the kind of the participation in the mainstream of US society and US nation. That was the kind of the treatment that is meant. But now, then came along Barack Hussein Obama. He registered more than 13 million young and new voters, united them, mobilized them and organized them through different medium, and said, change is the name of the game. Change is the name of the game, and yes, we can do it. जब तक हमें confidence नहीं होगा कि we, all of us can do it together, individually and collectively. I am not perfect in myself. I may have made mistakes, but I want to learn from those mistakes. I have come here. This is a very prestigious forum, I know, and I am very immensely pleased and greatly excited and delighted also to be here. That I know I will come across a lot of questions. I am consuming more time, but then you have to badlo hukmran, badlo Pakistan, and my daughter and my sister has to say badlo Sisral, and she has to gradually go for land reforms in the Sisral, in her in-laws, make friends with them, mend fences with them, and have to have an approach whereby gradually she makes it a point to such reform agenda. She wins the heart of the brother-in-laws, the sister-in-laws also. In my system, I am saying it. And my peasants and farmers, whose lives are in the hands of the big feudals. So they can also change their destiny by having confidence in them, uniting, organizing, and mobilizing the middle class and ordinary people of Pakistan. I am only left with 2 minutes, and what so far has happened in Pakistan, कि जो जीता वो वजीर, जो हारा वो मुशीर, और बाकी जो बचे कजन्स, चाचे, मामे, वो सफीर बनाकर बाहर भिजवा दिए गए। 2% ruling elite. We have to rid Pakistan of this menace, this curse, and terrorism. They all, extremism, fanaticism, they all are the symptoms, and they have their genesis from the lab of the chronic ailment of feudalism, tribalism, and over-centralization in Pakistan. Devolution and decentralization, 18th Amendment only took it half and half-hearted to the provinces. It needs to be taken beyond that to the district level, to the village level, to the town level, and we also have the boroughs and counties which are in the contemporary world, because they are also a guarantee, and they have the potential to become the they all have the engine of economy. Cities, Shanghai is the engine of economy for China. And had it been not for an empowered local government, Shanghai, China would not have been at what China we recognize in the present day. आज का चीन इसलिए चीन है कि शंघाई की लोकल गवर्नमेंट ने चाइना को कहां से कहां पहुंचाया। तो हमें अब अगर माय प्रेसिडेंट एंड प्राइम मिनिस्टर एंड पार्लियामेंटेरियंस हैव टू वरी अबाउट ए टैप, एक नलका, ए वेल, ए सीवेज, वो जो होता है टैंक, सीवेज टैंक, अगर मेरे पार्लियामेंटेरियंस को ये काम करना है अपने इलाकों में, जो कि काउंसलर्स को करना है, जो कि नाजिम्स को करना है, मिस्टर मेयर्स हैव टू डू, फिर इसका मतलब फिर वो लेजिस्लेशन कहां पर होगी? फिर पाकिस्तान को हम आगे कैसे ले जाएंगे? हमारा काम लेजिस्लेशन का है। तो हमें पावर, अथॉरिटी, रिसोर्सेस जो गोरे अंग्रेजों के बाद काले अंग्रेजों को चला गया, 2% बना दिया था, तब के वी हैव टू डिवॉल्व एंड टेक दैट एंड make the people owner of the power, authority and resources of Pakistan. This is the story. फिर ये and आखिरी एग्जाम्पल कि इतना टैलेंट है पाकिस्तान में, कॉटन की वैल्यू एडिशन कर दे, प्रेशियस स्टोन की वैल्यू एडिशन कर दे, एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट कि पाकिस्तान हैज द हाईएस्ट नंबर ऑफ कंज्यूमर्स फॉर द सेल फोन। 18 करोड़ में से 10 करोड़ 100 मिलियन पीपल आर यूजिंग सेल फोन्स। ये आखिरी बात कर रहा हूँ, लास्ट गारंटी के साथ, लास्ट, इसके बाद देखिए, कसम खा कर कहता हूँ कि 100 मिलियन पीपल इन पाकिस्तान आर यूजिंग सेल फोन। नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द न्यूटन एप्पल व्हिच केम एज एन आईफोन और नोकिया और सैमसंग और व्हाटएवर ब्रांड, बट नोकिया is found to be consumer friendly and half of the consumers cell consumers are using Nokia. Now one small policy shift can change the fate of Pakistan in the commerce policy, and this I have been talking with the Minister for Commerce in the cabinet and in my all budget speeches in the parliament. And what is that? Can you tell me, can someone of you, that which country brand this Nokia is? Which country brand Nokia is? Finland. And you know how much of the population of Finland is? Lahore has 9 towns. Finland does not have a population that exceeds the population of 2 towns of Lahore or 2 towns of Karachi. Lahore और Karachi के 2 टाउन की मार है सिर्फ फिनलैंड। Not only from the point of view of the population, but from the point of view of the IQ of our youth and youngsters in Pakistan. We have to simply give them an opportunity and say no to Nokia, that no more import, transfer technology, have your industry and factory of Nokia into Pakistan, otherwise we are not going to import Nokia. This is one policy shift. No quick fix. Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, download, cut and paste policy. This is how Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, South Korea has become to be known what they are today. हमें भी वही फार्मूला इख्तियार करना है, कोई मैजिक वॉन्ड नहीं है किसी के पास। और उसके लिए what we need to do, then if the Nokia factories are established in Pakistan, what will happen? Transfer of technology, saving a huge foreign exchange, employment generation, and then comes the art of cut and paste policy with some indigenization. जुगनू को दिन के वक्त रखने की जिद करे, बच्चे हमारे अहद के चालाक हो गए, बिठा लें उनको लेबोरेटरीज में, नोकिया खोलेंगे, बंद करेंगे हर फैक्ट्री के साथ, and 2 years down the road they will come up one of the best brands and Pakistani version Nokia, which we can by name it in the name of Pakistan that start with P, and our very definitely our Nokia will be Pokia. हमारा नोकिया हमारा पोकिया होगा। अब अगर हम ये नहीं करेंगे तो what will happen? What will happen? होगा क्या? ये पैकेजेस आगे स्कूल के बच्चे रात को 2-2 घंटे नोकिया पे दे जस्ट टॉक एंड टॉक शॉप, सब कह दो, वो भी रात को सब कह रहे हैं। अल्लामा इकबाल ने उनको कहा था कि मोहब्बत मुझे उन जवानों से है, मोहब्बत मुझे उन जवानों से है सितारों पे जो डालते हैं कमन, एट माई यूथ इंस्टेड ऑफ फॉलोइंग अल्लामा इकबाल, और सितारों पे कमन डालने की बजाय वो सितारा पे कमन डाल रहा है। एक सितारा में है, दूसरी कॉलेज में है, और पूरी रात जब फोन बात करता है पैकेजेस जो आ रहे हैं, तो उसके नतीजे में व्हाट इज द अर्ली मॉर्निंग प्रॉब्लम दैट विदाउट शेव ही गोज फॉर द इंटरव्यू, और डिग्री हाथ में लेके फिर रहा है और नौकरी नहीं मिल रही है। तो कम से कम हमारा अपना नोकिया या पोकिया होगा तो हम इनोवेशन करेंगे, एक उसमें नया बटन लगा देंगे उस नोकिया में, और उस बटन को दबाएंगे, उसमें से रेजर निकलेगा, और कम से कम वो पूरी रात फोन पे बात करने वाला रेजर को इस्तेमाल करके कम से कम शेव बनाकर तो सुबह इंटरव्यू में चला जाएगा। तो एक काम तो हम कर सकते नहीं कर सकते। आई एम जस्ट ऑन द लाइटर साइड ट्राइंग टू कन्वे अ वेरी hard and very big message with a very heavy heart. These are some of the small things that can fix Pakistan. When we are number 2 or 3 position in NASA, when we are number 1 quality doctors, 10,000 doctors, Pakistani doctors, all Pakistani physicians of North America descent, जो Pakistani doctors हैं, they are one of the best doctors in the world. Then why can't we one of the best policy makers for our own Pakistan, for our own country? Pakistan में ये क्यों नहीं कर सकते? But we will all have to a certain extent. If you hold me responsible, I will accept my responsibility. If you hold me that I have faltered, I will accept my responsibility that I have, and I may have faltered on so many things which I could not do. But then I will also like to hold all of you also, that all of us has to shoulder some responsibility. Drop by drop हमें क्वेश्चन बनाना है। मैं आखिर में जो शेयर पढ़ने जाऊंगा वो यही है कि एक आखिरी बात कर दूं कि तुसी सभी नु आजमाया, सानू भी एक बारी आजमाओ। तुसी सभी नु आजमाया, सानू भी एक बारी आजमाओ, जे तानू स्वाद ना आवे ता पैसे वापस, मनी बैक गारंटी। And with this I conclude, and what I have to say that मुन्नी बदनाम हो जाए तो इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम नहीं, मुन्नी बदनाम हो तो हो, लेकिन पाकिस्तान की बदनामी अब हम अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते। हम सबको मिलकर हमें उसकी जो ग्लोरी है उसको वापस लाने के लिए और वर्क टुगेदर। मैंने क्रॉस माई लिमिट, मैं थोड़ा ज़्यादा आगे चला गया। आई टेंडर माई अपॉलजी फॉर दैट ऑल्सो। लास्ट वर्सेस को अशार में पढ़ने की मेरी आदत है, इफ यू जस्ट कुड बियर मी आउट फॉर अ फ्यू मोर सेकंड्स। और 2 अशार ये हैं कि ख्वाहिशों से गिरा नहीं करते फल झोली, ख्वाहिशों से गिरा नहीं करते फल झोली में, वक्त की शाख को मेरे दोस्त हिलाना होगा। अगर आप दरख्त की शाख को हिलाएंगे नहीं तो फल भी नहीं चलेंगे। ख्वाहिशों से गिरा नहीं करते फल झोली में, वक्त की शाख को मेरे दोस्त हिलाना होगा। कुछ नहीं होता, कुछ नहीं होगा अंधेरों को बुरा कहने से, कुछ नहीं होगा अंधेरों को बुरा कहने से, अपने हिस्से का दिया खुद ही जलाना होगा। पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद।